Okay, so Jacqueline has been seen with Gia in LA and Louis and Chris Laurita. You know that Jacqueline, I think she has moved from Las Vegas to now Orange County. I'm not quite sure what the event was in LA, but it seemed like it was at some sort of place. Like I can't remember what it said, like on the backdrop. But anyways, she was there. I don't know if this will be captured on the show, but I did not see any pictures with Teresa. So I'm not saying that they do not exist. Maybe I've missed it, but I didn't see Teresa in the picture. I don't even know if she was there, but I've seen a picture of Jacqueline. I'm sorry, Gia, Louis, and Chris Laurita. And you know that Dana Wilkie just a few weeks ago had this big live interview with Kim D. And Dana, she said during the live something that I thought was interesting. She said that she was speaking, like she was currently speaking with Joe Mastropole, Joe Giudice's ex-partner. And she also said that she wanted to interview him. And I think something may be in the works. And, you know, Dana, she does great work. And I'm sure she has very good persuasion skills. So I wouldn't be surprised if that interview ends up happening at some point in time. But Dana said to Kim D, she said, you know what, I have a big favor to ask of you. And would you be interested, you know, if I'm able to book that interview with Joe, would you be interested in hosting that event, well, that live or that podcast with me? And I don't know if you guys recall, but Kim D seemed a little bit uncomfortable with the request, if you know what I mean. And she was hesitant. She didn't say yes. She actually said to Dana that she needed to give it some thoughts and that she couldn't necessarily reveal on air the reason why she needed to give it some thought. And she also said that she would talk about it to Dana off camera. So I'm just wondering if we will ever know what the whole situation is. You know, like I don't know if there's going to be a follow-up on that. I don't know if Dana is going to reveal the reason why Kim D seemed a little bit hesitant with accepting that offer. But because we are on the subject of Joe Mastropole and Jacqueline, I just thought I would go back into the archives and just read something to you guys that I found that was interesting, just in case you forgot. So have it right here. So it was an old statement made by Monica Chacon. Okay. Monica Chacon was the lawyer or the lawyer's wife, the lawyer's partners. I can't remember, but anyway, she was basically married to the lawyer that was representing Joe Mastropole in the case against Joe Giudice. Okay, so Monica said this during an interview back in July of 2013. She said, "Someone blew out 7 windows at our office the same day we filed in court," she claims. They were shooting slingshots with marbles. Of course, we didn't catch Joe doing it. Joe Giudice, she's alluding to. But my husband's office and Joe Mastropole's office were both targeted the same day we filed in court. It wasn't a coincidence. I remember reading about that back in 2013, but I guess I forgot. So I thought that was very interesting. And also something else that came out in the archives that I had totally forgotten about had to do with Miss Kim G. If you guys remember, A lot of people have come out of the woodworks around the reunion time saying that they knew this, they knew that, they knew so many things, right? And Kim G was one of them. So not to be confused with Kim D, but Kim G came out, and I think she wrote a tweet, or was it a tweet or an Instagram post? I can't remember, but she came out of the woodworks and she was saying that she knew who was the person who did this. So one thing that I had completely forgotten about, but I remember back then I had seen that post, right? And it was basically Kim Granatel, I think it was on her Twitter. She said, well, there's a few things here, and I'm going to read them all to you guys just in case you forgot. But the one that I thought was very interesting that she posted back in October, I think it was on the 20th of October, she said this: "So glad Jacqueline, myself, and Tom Morrow converse each day. Oh, I forgot. Monica too." And then she says, "Jacqueline knows what Teresa is all about. She admitted it to me. I was right all along." And then she says, "In Touch magazine, Teresa's husband and his," okay, I'm not going to read that one. She's talking about other stuff, but she's like, "Thanks to Tom Morrow and myself for having those photos. Jacqueline, nothing to do with them." Okay, so I guess Jacqueline has nothing to do with those photos, but anyways. And then she says, "What's that saying? What goes around comes around. Everyone gets their day. Yes, Jacqueline, there is a God." And then she goes, "Oh, what a wealth of knowledge. What a wealth of knowledge, and so much more to come." And then there's like a few other tweets, and she's like, "Oh, and I forgot, Monica Chacon, my fabulous lawyer, who so wants to bring Teresa down, and will. Don't mess with my Cuban girlfriend." Told you she was Cuban because everybody wants to say Monica Chacon, but I was like, no, it's not Chacon, it's Chacon, right? That's her name. So anyways, and it goes on and on and on. But the one that I find very interesting, and I think this Tom Morrow guy is some sort of entertainment dude or something like that. Anyways, like he has a pretty active social media account. I don't know if it's still active right now, but he has a pretty big following. So anyways, if you're not familiar with who he is, I'm sure you can, use Google and find out. But yeah, I thought that tweet, I forgot about that tweet. "So glad Jacqueline, myself, and Tom Morrow converse each day. Oh, I forgot. Monica too." I think she was at the restaurant when she tweeted something like that. So anyways, all of that to say that I find it interesting because I always have people that come under my posts, under my comments, and they want to defend Teresa's position on not wanting to talk to Joe, not wanting to talk to Melissa. And everyone says, well, how would you feel if your brother and your sister-in-law, were kind of like close to the people that wanted to put you in jail? Right? That's what a lot of people are saying to me. And they're also saying there are some pictures of Melissa and Joe, and there's evidence of that. I have not seen the pictures. And every time I've asked for people to produce those pictures and show them to me, I just, just crickets. Like, nothing comes out of that. So Teresa at the reunion and Jennifer, they both said there's proof, there's evidence. I'm sure if they had the proof, they would have produced the proof by now. I have not seen those pictures. But I find it funny. I have to say, I find it funny that Teresa says, well, I know my brother would never try to hurt me or Melissa, but at the same time, they hung out with people that wanted to hurt me. All right. So if we apply the same rationale when it comes to that, what about Jacqueline? Because it's in a tweet. And we know that Jacqueline was friendly with Kim D, probably still is, right? She was going to the restaurant with her. She was going to her house. And she was talking to Kim D and Monica. It was a clear thing that Monica did not like Teresa and vice versa. Remember that little scene at Christmas Eve or something like that? And then Teresa had this big blowout with Monica at the court. And then Jacqueline's like, oh, can you tell me what happened? What happened? You know, Teresa basically said to Jacqueline, I had to silence the lamb, right? Monica Chacon, she gets involved in my stuff. So Jacqueline knew that Teresa didn't like Monica. So why is Jacqueline talking to Kim G and Monica Chacon at the same time? So how come Teresa is able to forgive Jacqueline based on her hanging out with people that wanted to hurt her, but she can't apply the same rationale when it comes to her brother and Melissa? Doesn't make a lot of sense.